नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 2, verse number 8. So Krishna, he ordered Mahamaya or Yogamaya to go to Vraj and be there, and also ordered to transfer the womb from Devaki to Rohini. They do this also now at present, this kind of thing. And they call surrogate. No, that is different.
IV, they do the IV thing.
Yeah, something, I don't know. So this was also there. Changing. Devakya jatre garbham sheshakyam dham mamakam tatsannikrishtya rohinya udre sanniveshaya. So he said that in the womb of Devaki there is my ansha, my part, my expansion, who is called Shesha, or Shesha is whose part. So you take him out from there and put inside Rohini. So there is a commentary by Sri Vishwanath. Mamkam dhama madans bhutam baldev swarup. So Mamkam dhama means my ansha, or who is called Baldev, Balaram. So Kidrisham Shesha iti anshena akhyayasya. So he is called Shesha because he is part. Shesha means part, Sheshi means whole. So he is called Shesha because he is part of Krishna. Shesha also means one who remains after the pralaya. Shishyate Shesha Sangha Diparardhavasane Nastes Saloke Mahabhutani Atma Bhutam Gateshu. So Kala Vegana Yate Shishyate Shesha Sangha, that is also called Shesha. But here Shesha he is using in the sense of Ansha. So Jiva is also called Shesha and Ishvara is called Sheshi. So it is in that sense that Shesha is being used. So therefore it is called Sheshakhya, or whose Akhya name is Shesha. Yasya ekanshena vidhrita jagati jagatapate. So Sheshakhya can also mean that Shesha is his ansha. That's how he is saying it here, that this is a statement from Bhagavatam when he was angry at Yamuna. Then Yamuna came and said, Yasya ekanshena vidhrita jagati jagatah pate. That you are the Jagatpati, and by your one part the earth is held or upheld. So earth is supposed to be kept on the head of Shesha. What would scientists say to that? Also, nobody has seen any snake. There are planes flying all around, right? So it's the power, the gravitational force, which is also called Sankarshan, right? It's a pull. So that pull has to be kept in balance. So that's what he keeps it. If there is a disturbance in that, then it will be displaced. So iti agramokta, it will be explained later on. Ataev tasya rohini नित्यमातृकत्वे अपि देवक्या गर्भे मत्प्रवेशानुरोधेनैव प्रथमं तेन प्रविष्टम्. So Balram's eternal mother is Rohini. So why he is occupying another place? Why is he encroaching someone else's place? This is encroachment, right? Just because he is Balram means powerful people encroach on others' property, right? So why is he being a mafia? Right? So why is he taking the place of Krishna when his mother is Rohini? So he is explaining that although his eternal mother is Rohini, but he is going in the womb of Devaki because of Krishna's appearance there. So first he is going there so that he can make arrangements for Krishna to come. Because Balram serves Krishna by becoming his bed, his seat, his shoes, his umbrella, right? All these things, they are all forms of Balram to serve Krishna. So because Krishna is going to sleep there, so he is making his bed there. That's why he came. So man nivasa sayya ashanadhyatmakam shesham taddaivaki garve sthapitu. So he says that Balram is going to put his ansha there, who is my bed. Sheshaya. Bed is very important part, right? You cannot be awake if you don't have a proper bed. So sleeping is very important, and Krishna has to do many activities when he comes out, so let us relax, like he's relaxing there. So first relax, and then you have to tax yourself. Then you have to stretch. So therefore he makes him to arrive there. So is तत्र देवकी गर्भे स्थापयित्वैव स्वमातु रोहिण्या गर्भे ययाश इति अर्थ. So it is for that reason that he first went to Devaki's womb and then he desired to go to his mother. Nanu, now he raises an objection. Nanu Shuddha Sattva Swarupayam Bhagavat Prakashikayam Mahashaktau Devaki Devyam Prakritanam Shadgarbhanam Katham Pravesha Samuchiti Bhavati. So he says that how is it that Devaki is pure Shuddha Sattva, she is transcendental, and she is the one where Krishna manifests. So Bhagavat Prakashika, and she is supremely power Mahashakta, Devaki Devya. So how was it possible that these 6 people were also able to enter in her, who are only material beings? Right? Krishna, Devaki is supremely transcendental because Krishna manifests there. So how is that these 6 material people who were cursed by Brahma, the 6 sons of Marichi, they also got the chance to be in the same place? So what is their good fortune to have such position? It is how we can think about this. So he says, yes, you are right, we have raised a good doubt. So he explains, he says, just as Shuddha Sattva Sarupa Sri Bhagavati समष्टि व्यष्टिनाम प्रविष्टत्वेपि तथा न तद्योग तथैव देवक्यामपि षड्गर्भाणाम इत्यर्थ. He said just like Krishna, he is also Shuddha Sattva, but then inside him is the Brahmanda, which is material, right? So in the same way, what is the problem? There is no difficulty. So these 6 garbhas, they also went. As Krishna says, mat sthani sarvabhutani na chaham teshu avasthiti. That all these living beings are in me, but I am not in them. And nacha mat sthani bhutani pashyama yogamesha. And then he says, living beings are also not in me. Just see my yogic power, my Aishwarya. So they are in him because where else they can be, but at the same time they are not him because they don't know, they don't touch him. So in that sense they are not. So that's how the 6 babies also came. किंतु जनेषु भक्ति परिपाटी प्रदर्शनार्थम एव इयम लीला अवगम्यते. Now he gives a very fantastic explanation. So he says that this leela is being performed for common people to understand how bhakti comes, how bhakti manifests, how Krishna manifests to devotees. So therefore, it is to indicate that. So how is that? What this has to do with bhakti? तथा ही भक्तजने श्रवण कीर्तनादि लक्षणे भक्ति तिष्ठति. So what do the bhaktas do? They do bhajan kriya, right? Some bhaktas do that, right? They do Shravan and Kirtan, etc. They hear Bhagavatam, they do Kirtan, they do Japa, right? So then when you do Bhakti, then what happens? Then there is Tarangarangani. Yes? So you get name, fame, nice food, sweets, fruits, right? All these things you get or not? Yes? How many people in the material world are getting sweets to eat? They are all the time drinking this horrible liquor. And how many people get to eat halwa or barfi or sweet rice? How many?
Every day. Also every day.
Just if you compare the food which devotees eat and compare what these people are eating, it's just horrible. So this is the effect of Shravan Kirtan. That's why they say that devotees are in Madhurya Bhav. And they're eating sweets. Where else can you get sweets like this? So when they do this, so then when you perform bhakti, then from bhakti you get the side effect of bhakti, right? So these side effect are the 6 children. Nice music to hear, nice scenery to see, nice fragrance, right? Flower garland, food to taste. So all this, these are the 6 items. He will explain. So bhaktjane shravan kirtanadi lakshana bhaktis tishtati. So the devotees, they perform shravan kirtan japa. At least now you should do knowing this. तद गर्भे एव तद आनुषंगिक फलम फलभूतत्वात् षड्विषय भोगस्य तिष्ठन्ति. So in the womb of bhakti you have the 6 types of vishayas which come, right? Bhakti Uttha. From bhakti you get 6 types of vishaya, 5 external senses and 1 internal sense. So Roop, Ras, Gandh, Sparsh, Shabda, right? And then for the mind you have nice attachment, friends, devotees. So you get these are the garbha means which comes from that. So inside bhakti this comes out also, but they have to be removed, otherwise they become attachment. So who kills them? Kamsa. So when you have the fear that, oh, I don't want to get attached to these things, so that is the Kamsa. So he kills them. Then comes Balaram. And then comes Krishna. So you see, importance of Kamsa is also there. And if you are not fearful, like many devotees are very bold, so then they remain with this wishes. Then there is no Balaram, because first you have to kill these 6 babies. And better kill them as soon as they are born. As they say, nip in the bud. Once they grow up, they will become troublesome, they will kill Kamsa. So you have to kill them in the beginning. As soon as the attachment comes, drop. As soon as the desire comes, drop. You know that. Jusmanastatan kaman garhodar kamsa. Dukhodar kamsa garhen. So that is what he is saying. So tato bhajet mam prita dridha shraddhalu dridha nischaya jusmanasya tan kaman dukhodar kamsa garhen. So this garha is necessary. This distaste, dislike, that is necessary. So that is the fear, that I don't want to get caught in the network of these wishes. So Vishyan sajjate mane vishesho eva praliyate mamanusmarata. So mansi me praliyate, Krishna says.
Killing desire here means the killing of desire here means the transgressing the desire of these 5 senses.
It doesn't matter, kill or transgress, whatever you want to do. You have to get rid of them. So, hanta etaireva sansarandhakupe patishyami iti tatah prakati bhutad bhayat kalena te nivartante. So the devotee thinks that, oh my God, these things will kick me back into the blind well of the material world. So I don't want them. By these things I will be thrown into the blind well of the material world. So because of this fear, prakati bhutad bhayat kalenate. So if you have fear from them, then you will be careful. You don't want to go near them. Then gradually you will lose taste. Rasvarjam rasapyasya param drashtva nivartate. Then you will transcend them. And if you don't fear them, then you will remain with them. So this is the Kamsa. Because Kamsa was having fear, right? He was killing them out of fear.
Haribol, Bhagavaji?
Yes.
So practically, it means that we don't need to have fear from Dada's Barfi, for instance. We can go for it.
You don't have to fear from?
Barfi that we can have in the ashram. We don't have to fear of them. We can go for it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, if we can lay our hands on it, go for it. You can also save it for the next day, it doesn't get spoiled. So he says that kalena te nivartante cha. So if you have this fear that you can fall back into the material world, then you will lose taste for it. Means basically attachment to these things. Tato bhagavad yashah shravan kirtan paricharyadi mai bhaktir praviddha bhavati. So then when you will become detached to material enjoyment, what he is saying is that these 6 things are material enjoyment. This is the anartha nivritti, basically. When you do bhajan kriya, adau shraddha tata sadhu sankha tata bhajan kriya. And when you do bhajan kriya, then anarthas will come. So now with anarthas, you have to be careful. So if you are careful with them, then you will transcend. Then you will become fixed. So that is Balram. Then you will get the Bala. Thus, you will get the Bala and you will get the Ram, the pleasure. You will get the strength so that the sense objects cannot overpower you, and you will also have the relish of bhakti. So that's what he says, that then Bhagavad Yasha Shravan Kirtan Paricharyadi Mai Bhaktir Praviddha Bhavati. Then bhakti in the form of hearing, chanting, doing seva, this becomes heightened or it increases. Then you don't think why they are asking me all the time to do this when others are just sitting. Why me? Right? No, it's up to you. It's like seva. You don't want to do, fine. Don't think others are not doing. Then why you become devotee? There are so many others who are not becoming devotee. You should ask, why I have to become devotee when there are so many people who are not becoming devotees? Right? So don't say, why me? So if you get seva, don't think, well, why the seva is coming to me? And why other people are not doing? Right? This thought comes. Yes? So this should not come. So feel happy that, well, I am here to do seva only, otherwise what is the meaning of being a devotee? And if others are not interested or not doing, that's their problem. And just like so many people are not becoming devotees, that's their problem. You don't apply the logic there that they are not devotees, so I also don't want to be devotees. Some people apply there also. And they leave. Yeah, right? They leave, they go back. Say this is all brainwashing. So then that is when Balram appears. And then when Balram appears, then stage is ready for Krishna. Because when this bhakti becomes heightened, then only you can have Krishna. So this is the progression. This is how Krishna manifests in Devaki.
Jai Gurudev, I have a question. So Kansa represents fear, and only if we have this fear of the material enjoyment, then we can fight these anarthas, basically. But is it also possible without that fear?
Well, if you are not attached, you don't have fear. It's for the beginning people. When you come in the beginning, if you are very friendly with materialistic people, right? Asad sang tyagi ei Vaishnavachar. Mahaprabhu said that you give up asat sang. So giving up means I don't like it. That is the fear. Fear not means that you are terrified. It's like they say, don't look at women, run away. Not that type. Fear means that you are attentive not to get involved in it. So that is the meaning. Fear in the sense to be aware that these things can choke up my devotional life, basically. Just like you fear offense, because you know that offense, they choke up bhakti. So it's not that I'm terrified of offense. Some people go to that extent, well, I don't want to do japa because if I do japa then I will have offense. Don't want to do deity worship because then there is seva aparadh. So that is not type of fear, means just be alert. That is the meaning. It's like Kansa was very alert. When is this guy coming? As soon as he comes, finish him off. So tasyam cha Bhagwan Rupa Gun Mahodadhi Pradurbhavati. So now when this stage has come, Bhakti Praviddha Bhavati, then what happens is, then Krishna, the ocean of beauty, qualities, he manifests. Bhakter Bhagavat Prakashak Shuddha Sattva Sarupatvat. Because Bhakti is that which manifests Bhagwan, and its essential nature is Shuddha Sarupa. So Bhakti Reva Enam Darshayati iti Shrute. And it is said that it is only Bhakti which gives us the vision of Bhagwan, not anything else. Evameva, so who were these 6 sons? They were the sons of Marichi originally. Right? It is said that they laughed at Brahma. So laughing is also, you have to see at which occasion to laugh, when not to laugh. All the time laughing is also not good. So laughing is good, but not, you have to also see whether it is appropriate time to laugh or not. So that was not a good time for them to laugh. So they saw Brahma and then they laughed. So Brahma says, okay, go to hell. So they have to take birth from Hiranyakashipu or Kalnemi. Some say Kalnemi and some say Hiranyakashipu. And then they were cursed that your own father will kill you. So Kamsa is their father. He is going to kill them. So Marichir Manso Abhavat, this is from the Shruti, that Marichi was born from the mind of Brahma. Remember, different sages came out from different parts. Narada was born from his lap. Daksha was born from his thumb or hand. Different sages came from different. So Marichi was born from the mind. Iti Shravanat Marichar Mano Avtaratvam. So therefore Marichi is considered as the avatar of mind. And then from mind we have the 5 senses, because they are attached to the 5 senses, report to the mind, right? So Indriyanam Paranyahu Indriyabhya Param Manaha. So beyond Indriya is, and these are the, mind is also sense. Manashasthani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. So 5 sense and 6th sense is mind, but mind is like the governor, the ruler or the father of these 5. So therefore he says that Sravana Marichar Mano Avtaratvam Tatputranam Shannam Shabdat iti Shad Vishya Avtaratva. And then these 6 sons are like the 6 Vishaya of the mind. Rup, Ras, Gandh, Sparsh, Shabda and Rag. Attachment. These 6. So they came from Devaki. Devakya Bhagavat Pradurbhavakatvat Bhakta Avtaratva. So they are also like devotees because they make the stage ready for Krishna to come. If they do not come, the how number 8 will come. To come to number 8, you have to go through number 6. Right? So that's why they are coming. Says we will sacrifice ourselves to come, so let Krishna come. So they are sacrificing themselves, they are also devotees. So he says Bhakta Avtaratvam. Bhayat Kamsa iti Shravanat Bhayamayattvena Kamsasya Bhaya Avtaratvam. And as it is said, Bhayat Kamsa Kamat Gopya Dveshat Chadyadayo Nripa. Right? So therefore Kamsa is the avatar of fear. So therefore he is causing fear to everybody. He himself is also full of fear. And because he is full of fear, what does he give to others? Fear. Right? If you are full of love, you give love to others. If you are full of fear, you give fear. If you are full of anger, you give anger. Whatever you have, that's what you give. So he was Bhaya Avatar. So he gave Bhaya to everybody. He says, come take some Bhaya, some fear. So sometimes fear also has a role to play. If you don't have any fear, you won't survive. Right? If you don't have fear of corona, you will not last very long. Some people do not fear corona and say, there is no corona. Today also somebody came to see, said there is no corona. Yeah, everybody who comes, he tells me there is no corona. And they ask me, have you seen? I said, no. He said, it's just a hype. People die anyway. He says, more people die from flu than from corona. So logic is very good. When you hear to them, it makes sense. He said, just the doctors who are making money.
Doctor also dying.
When they make money, then they have to die also. They make too much money, right? So ato bhakti garbha gatanam षड विषयानाम यथा संसार भयम एव निवर्तकम तथैव देवकी षड गर्भानाम कंसो हंता. So he said, just like those sense objects which you get because of bhakti. Because of bhakti means that when you come to path of bhakti seriously, then people respect you. And they also give you things, they give you gift, food, right? You can go and have bhandara here in Vrindavan. And some people become sick because of that only. Yeah. So this is the thing. So if you do not have fear of eating, then you go on eating. Then you become sick. So that's why that kamsa is good. So there are many sadhus who are sick. Why are they sick? Because they perform some japa, some kirtan, and because of that they get bhandara to eat. They get nice feast. And they go on eating feast unrestrictedly. So then after some time they fall sick. There is no Kamsa to kill it. Right? So I had one god brother like that, he died, diabetes, because always eating bhandara. So he says this is the significance of it. That be careful when you perform your sadhana bhakti properly, then these things will come. And if you are not careful at that time to kick them out, then they will kick you. Then you will be back. So that is the significance of killing these 6. It's a very nice analysis he has done. Never heard this before. So therefore Kamsa comes and kills the Vishaya nivrittau satyam yatha bhakti garbhe bhagavad yashah paricharyadi mayi prem bhaktireva bhavet तथैव देवक्याम षड गर्भे निवृत्ति अनंतरम सप्तमो गर्भो भगवद यशो निवासयासन छत्रादि रूपोऽनंत. So now when you will become free from attachment to these sense objects, which includes attachment also, because sometimes people give up attachment, sense objects, but they don't give up attachment. This is the 6th one, and that is more subtle. Because 5 are the external senses, and the sense objects of external senses are more visible. They are gross. So though you can see and others also see how he is enjoying, how he is attached. But that's the 6th one, which is mamatva, attachment or raga, that is not so easily traceable. That's very thin. Like a thin thread. You don't see it if you don't have a good eyesight. Then it's like the one strand of the cobweb. If it is only one, you won't see it. It's so thin. So like that, there stands. But you see how cobweb is also strong. So that is the 6th one that has to be cleared, and once all these are gone, then your mind will become fixed in service. Then you will have nishtha, ruchi, asakti, bhav, all this. So this is the struggle. The struggle is killing these 6. So these 6 senses, you also have the Sadri Puja of Kam, Krodha, Love, Moha, Matsarya. Those are also 6 in number. So they have to be removed. Then comes fixity of the mind. Otherwise, you have Ghantarla, Niyamakshama, all this, right? So various stages. Utsahama is there for short time also. After that, you never see it again. Because it disappears. So then last one is Tarangarangani. So that has a very big range, because it is difficult. When you have Niyamakshama, you know that you are unable to follow. But when you have Tarangaranga, when you have the waves of sense objects coming you, people giving you respect, right? Labha, puja, pratishtha, then it is difficult to figure out. Then you think you are successful in bhakti. Right? Actually, some people count that as a success. How many followers you have, how many people are saying Jai Jai after you.
Hari Bol.
So then that is success. But it may be just Tarangarangani. So once you clear that, then actually you are on the smooth path. Then only you really flow. Till then there is a struggle. So the struggle is actually long period, 6. So then comes strength. And strength means that now this Vishaya cannot overpower you. That is the meaning of Balram. Nirbal ke Balram?
Adi.
So that is Balram comes then. So then from there you go to Prem Bhakti and then comes Krishna. So tatah prema bhakti avirbhavanantaram yatha bhagavad sakshatkaro bhakter ashtamo garbha tathaiva devakyasya ashtamo garbho bhagavan iti tattvam drashta. So he said, just as once the prema manifests, then you have Bhagavad Sakshatkar. The vision of Krishna comes only to a person who has attained prema, and that is like the 8th product of bhakti. So similarly, Krishna is the 8th child of Devaki. So Devaki is like bhakti, and Krishna is the ultimate fruit, outcome of that. So this, I think, is such a nice explanation he has given. So then he says, Yataham ansa bhagena devakyaha putratam shubhe prapshami tvam yashodayam nandapatnyam bhavishyasi. So this is still Krishna speaking to Yogamaya. He said that, oh, the auspicious one, when you do that, then I will be born as son of Devaki. Ansha Bhagena. Along with Ansha Bhaga, there are so many meaning of this word Ansha Bhaga. But you can understand that along with all my Anshas, I will be born. And Prapshami Tvam Yashodayam Nandapatnam Bhavishyasi. And you will be born from the wife of Nanda Maharaj, Sri Yashoda. So therefore she is also Krishna's sister. So it says, don't worry, don't think that I am sending you alone, I am also coming. So don't become afraid, I will be there and you will be born from Yashoda, but you will not stay there. Prapshyami tvam Yashodayam. So I will make you attain Yashoda, but really not stay, because she was exchanged, brought to Mathura, and then she disappeared into sky. So ansair gyan baladibhir bhajanam anuvartanam bhakteshu yasya tena sarvatha paripurna swarupena iti bhavartha dipakayam. So he is citing Sridhar Swami's explanation of the word Anshabhaga. So he says that Anshabhaga means the complete Bhagavan, having all his Ansha and Bhaga of Aishwarya, etc. Gyan, Aishwarya, Bal. With all this I will be taking birth. Anshanam bhagah pravesho yatra tena purnena swarupena. So many meaning. So Ansha bhagena also he says that I, in whom all the Anshas will enter. Anshanam bhaga pravesho yatra tena means the punena swarupena, the complete Swam Bhagavan. Or Anshanam Brahmadinam Bhagena Bhagdayena Hetuna iti dvayam Vaishnav Toshinyam. Or other meaning of Ansha is, Ansha Bhag is that Ansha is Brahma, etc. And it is their good fortune because of which I will take birth. Bhaga so means Bhagya, fortune. So like you say Mahabhaga means greatly fortunate one. Also say Bhagya and Bhaga. Bhaga means one who has the Bhagya. So this is another meaning. So these are the two meanings which are given in Vaishnav Toshini by Sanatana Goswami. More meaning, Yadva Ansha Bhagena Anshanshena Putratam Putra Bhavam Prapshyami Natu Sarvanshena Ityatah Sa Devaki Mai Matsalyam Aishwarya Bhavamayam Karishyati. Another meaning is that Bhaga also means Ansha, right? उसको भाग दो, चार को दो से भाग दो means you divide 4 into 2, so means make parts. So in Sanskrit bhaga also means to divide, like vibhaga, division. So ansha means part and bhaga also means part. So ansha bhaga means part of part. So therefore the meaning is that from Devaki I will be born only as part of part, not the complete one. Means I will only manifest my Aishwarya there, not so much Narlila. So therefore Devaki will not get the pleasure and Yashoda will get. That is the meaning. Because Krishna first appears with 4 hands. Yashoda, I never saw Krishna 4-handed. It was not possible for him to do that. So that is the meaning of Ansha Bhaga. So Natu Sarvanshena, so not in my complete form. Sa Devaki Mai Vatsalyam Aishwarya Bhamayam. So therefore the Vatsalya of Devaki is Aishwarya predominant. Means thinking of Krishna as God, because from the very beginning she knew that Krishna is God, therefore she started praying to him. So, Yattat Swarupam Nirgunam Nirvikaram Brahma Jyoti. So that prayer, she prayed. Vasudeva and Devaki, they both prayed to him because he came like Vishnu. So they know that he is our son, but they also know that he is God. So therefore it is Aishwarya Maya Vatsalya. But Yashoda did not know that Krishna is God. Even when he showed the universal form inside the mouth, he says, what is this? Kim bat Maya Devi Nariyut Ashuri Kim va Madiyo bat Buddhi Moha. So is some Maya, the Maya of the Devatas, human beings, or some Asuric Maya, or is it my mind confused? Why am I seeing this? So she did not have Aishwarya, that's why she was able to bind him. Devaki would not think of anything like that. Even when later on Krishna and Balram, because Krishna did not stay right after birth, he left, he came back when he was grown up. And he killed Kamsa and then he went to Devaki and Vasudeva. They again started praying to them, Sakshat Prakriti Parameshwaro. He says, you both are Parameshwara. That's what they are. So it was a mixture. So that means he says that I am complete when I am not really God. people think that he is complete when he is God, and Krishna says that is my part only. That's why people, those who do not have the concept of something beyond Aishwarya, beyond God, the Creator, they cannot understand Krishna, and they make fun of these Hindus. What kind of God they have? This is stealing, he's a thief, playing with women. So they cannot understand, because how can he be God? They are also right, because God does not do such things. The concept of God which they have, these things don't fit. All this stealing and this no normal people do these things. So it is very bewildering to understand him. It's very confusing. You try to understand him. It is easy to understand God in Aishwarya than to understand God in Madhurya. तेन भावांतर शून्यम संपूर्णमेव वात्सल्य सुखम श्री यशोदायाम एव प्राप्स्यामि इति द्योतित. So what it indicates is that that's pure vatsalya, that mood of pure mother, without any inhibition that my son is God and I should not chastise him, that will be an offense. Nothing like that. So that he will manifest only in relationship with Yashoda. Yashoda is the only one who will manifest pure Vatsalya or mood of mother towards Krishna. This is being indicated by this word Ahamansha Bhagena Devakyayit Putratam Shubha. And Tvam tu Yashodayam Bhavishyasi Utpasyase Matra. You will be born from Yashoda, but you will only be born. You will have no chance to drink milk from her or get her affection. So you will be whisked away right after birth from there. Yashodayam putritva samvapsyasi iti anukte stvai sutayam api sa vatsalyam nakarashyati. So here in the sloka it is not said that you will be the daughter of Yashoda, as he said for himself that I will take birth as I will be son of Devaki. He did not say that you will be daughter of Yashoda. He only said that you will be born from Yashoda but not her daughter. So means that you will get no affection of Yashoda. You will not have a relationship of mother and daughter with her. You will just appear and then go away. So alakshya vigrahatvenaiva tavrajaye vartishyamanattvat iti bhava. And then you will stay in Vraja afterwards, but unseen by anyone. So then she was not seen here. Nobody saw her as sister of Krishna. So she remains, because she disappeared into the sky, and that's all. After that no one saw her. Kamsa is the only one who had her darshan. So we'll stop here if there is any question to ask.
Abhishek Pranam, I have a question. I would like to understand how the fear of Kamsa is somehow different than the fear we see ordinarily. For example, people in India, many people in India are scared of Shanidev. Out of fear of him, they worship Hanumanji on Saturdays.
Yeah, but he is not saying fear for worshipping, he is saying fear of sense objects. He is saying fear to engage in sense pleasure. He's not saying out of fear worshipping Krishna.
Yes, yes. I guess I should clarify. The question was like Kamsa was scared of Krishna, not in this particular context of the commentary, but in general, Kamsa was scared of Krishna. So out of fear of God, people pray to him. But Kamsa did not pray to Krishna or Vishnu, although he was scared of Vishnu. So I would like to understand the difference between these two fears. Why is it that Kamsa did not try to propitiate Vishnu because of that he doesn't kill him or something like that?
Because he did not think he's God. He think he's my enemy. Those people who worship Shanidev or Vishnu or Shiva out of fear, they think he's God. Kamsa was not thinking like that. He thought he's our family enemy. He killed my father in previous life. Hiranyaksha, he killed me. He is an enemy, just like I was saying yesterday that this material world is fixed. You deal with few people. Somebody is your enemy in this life, then you are born again in the next life to take revenge from that, or he takes revenge. You continue with. So he is also same. Vishnu killed Hiranyaksha and killed Kalnemi, then he comes again. So Kalnemi comes Kamsa, he still has hatred for Vishnu. Vishnu comes, kill it. They are also interlinked, dealing with few people. That is their samsara. So he did not think that he is God. Just like Ravana was also like that. He thought, how can Ram be God? That's why he took Marichi as a deer, with golden deer. He had a doubt that maybe he is, because he heard that Ram is God, Ram is God. People said so many things. Also because he saw that he broke the bow of Shiva in the Swamvar for Sita Devi. Ravana has also gone there. He also applied his strength but could not do anything. And then Ram broke it. So he had a doubt, so he said, let me test. Because this is the mentality of the materialistic people. Instead of accepting, they go to test God, who is testing everybody. They test him. So he took a golden deer. So let me see, if he is God, then he will know that this is just a trick. And if he is not God, then he will fall for the trick. So this was Ravan's logic. God has a different logic. God also has his logic, He says, oh, you want to test me? I have no problem. I will go after the deer. So you will be the victim of your own logic. So then Lord Ramchandra, he ran after the deer. So then Ravan, he laughed. He says, this cannot be God. He says, now I will handle him. I just wanted to make sure. So he says, now I will take care of this guy. So then he became sure that he is no God. If he cannot know this much, right? That if he could not know that this deer is actually a fake one, asambhavam he mrigasya janme tathapi ramo lulubhe mrigaya. He said it is impossible that the deer made of golden, still Ram was lustily running after it. How can he be God? So that was his logic. So he got tricked. Similarly, Sati got tricked. She also came to test Ram afterwards. Right after that. Right? It happened right after that, because then Ravan kidnapped Sita. And then Lord Ram was going around crying, Sita, Sita. Then he said, how can he be God? He's crying like an ordinary person. So she thought, I'm going to test. So Shiva said, no, he's God, don't worry. So he said, no, I have my doubt. He said, okay, go ahead, I'm test. Okay, you want to test? So Lord Shiva has already rejected her. You can't be my wife if you want to test my Ishta Devata. So he sat under a tree. So she also got tricked. So it's difficult to understand God. That's why Tarko Pratishthanat.
Babaji Maharaj, I just wanted to understand one thing. That there is said that one has to get over the Vishya, then Balram comes, then the strength comes to get away the attraction of that, and then after that Krishna comes. So we also find like many devotees, example, outwardly they are looking to be in Vishya, like Pundrik Vidyanati, or for that matter some asuras like Bali or Vipasura. So outwardly they look to be in Vishyas. So how do we understand this point?
So Vishya means attachment to Vishya. Otherwise, if you eat prasad, Vishyas are offered and then you take as prasad, then they are no more dangerous. Tvayochishta sraggandha vasalankar charchita uchishta bhojino dasata mayam jayamahi, right? This is what Uddhava is saying. So Vishya, when you think that you are the enjoyer and you want to enjoy them, that is the danger. But if you don't think like that, then Vishya, they cannot trouble you.
But actually in the commentary, I think it was mentioned that 5 senses and then the 6th one was the attachment. So like...
Okay, if you don't have attachment, then what the 5 will do, tell me.
yeah, main thing is attachment only.
So that is the key.
Babaji, I had a question.
Yes.
What you just mentioned reminded me of a conversation I had many years ago with a devotee. We were discussing diabetes and sugar content of food. And you were saying I have a very cynical approach because prasad is prasad and sugar, whether it's in prasad or not, doesn't matter. You should accept prasad and not look at it as a sense object. That person ultimately go into the hospital and get a surgery done. It seems like prasad is prasad, but you know, some types of prasad can be damaging and unhealthy. Is that fair to say?
Well, prasad is prasad, but you have to eat according to your need and your constitution. Otherwise, why, if prasad is prasad, why is eating only sweets? Why not just eat sabji? It's also prasad, right? So he is making a distinction himself, right? Why the
Yes.
why the preference for sweets? If it is all prasad, so then he is not thinking that this is also prasad and this is also prasad. Now one prasad is better than the other. You don't.
It was not just sweets, but just overall the food, the
Yeah.
cooking, fried food and lots of ghee and.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you give him simple prasad, probably he won't like it. So why, that is also prasad. So they have their internal attachment which they are rationalizing. You cannot control your senses and you want to enjoy. This is the Vishya Tarangani, Tarangarangani. And then you have to rationalize whatever you do. Khavat chutai sarira tabahi mile siya ragvera. When you will die while eating prasad, then only you will get Sitaram. So some people eat like that. Actually, one sadhu died like that. He kept on eating. And ultimately he died completely choked with food. And you need some space for breathing. So he ate so much that he could not breathe and he died. So he got Siya Ragvira. He truly followed this. principle. They made a sloka out of it, I mean the Payar. Khavat khavat chota hi sarira, tabahi milen Sriya Raghuvira. That when you will die while eating, then you will immediately get Sitaram. So some people actually think like that because it is so convenient if you are attached to eating.
In the context of explanation of the Krishna appear in our heart, and before that, these six senses and their subjects would be killed, and indirectly in that process, Mayadevi also appeared. So what is that?
Mayadevi, where she appeared?
Is Durga Devi.
But she did not come from Devaki. She appeared from Yashoda.
But she came to also to the Devi.
And she was brought. So that is to say, if Maya comes, then Krishna leaves. Wherever there is Maya, there is no Krishna.
And another question is regarding the service. If any truthful person and the self-controlled person giving any service, then it's pleasing to do. But in other way, it's not so pleasing. So
But you have to see whether you want to do service or not. Not who is giving service. Because if your mood is to serve, then how